Good evening, everybody. I'm sorry it's so late in the day of doing my vlog. I got up this morning, I came in here, and I did my usual routine of looking at the different news information and whatnot. And because it was very cold this morning and looked gray and gloomy, at first I thought it was going to be one of those days where it's like, no. It actually turned out better than I thought it was going to be. Let's just put it this way. I got up this morning with plans of just like attacking Joanne's craft room. And after I woke up enough and had my cup of coffee and saw how the weather was going to be and went, okay, I can't just mope around. I have to do what's necessary to get things on. I got 2 weeks before, 2 weeks, 16 days before I'm back to work. So I was like, I got to get this worked on now. I've got 2 weeks to get that done and this done and the whole 9 yards. So I went in and asked her what she wanted for, midday meal, however you want to put it. And she was like, "Well, it's a cold, gloomy day outside. I'm actually, we were both a little chilly." She goes, "You know what? This would be a perfect day for more homemade oatmeal." And I went, coming right up, made basically brown sugar and cinnamon oatmeal from scratch. So I was happy to be able to do that. And then we sat down, and then while we were letting our food settle, I was like, "What do you feel like doing today?" And she goes, "Well, I know we need to sit down and do the budget for the month and try to figure out monies and all this kind of stuff." I was like, okay, that's understandable. Anything else? She's like, "Yeah, I don't know." And I said, "Well, I'm gonna tell you what I want to do. I want to start getting these 2 rooms done before I have to go back to work, because I don't know when I'll be able to work on it. Once I go back to work." She goes, "You know what? That sounds like a great idea. Let's go ahead and do the budget and then sit down and look at the room and start strategizing how we're going to do it." And I was like, "Okay, sounds like a great idea." Well, trying to figure out the budget and trying to work on that stuff to make sure we understand what we got to do with money and what kind of money we need and how much extra work I have to do or she has to start doing on YouTube. So the plan is for this next 2 weeks is to do her craft room, especially so she can get in there and start crafting, and hoping she can do as much as she can with the bodice on. And I'm hoping either this week or next week we have to go up to see her doctors and her surgeons in St. Louis to see if she can start walking instead of using a rollator or being, I don't want to say stagnant. Basically what I mean by that is either sitting in bed or sitting in her chair in our room, or coming out here and sitting in the living room, because I know while I'm at work she's probably going to be doing nothing unless she has the capability of going into the craft room and doing work in there, whether it's walking in there or rollating in there. So that's our beginning of the year hopes and dreams, is to be able to get her walking and doing more crafting, because when she was doing crafting, I'll tell you this much: when she was doing her crafting, she was at her happiest moments. Being that she hasn't really been able to, let alone push herself to do the crafting since her brother died last year. So it's kind of like one of those, all right, it's time to pull on our big boy pants and go in there and do what we got to do, and quit moping around, or quit making up excuses why you don't feel like crafting no more. She wants to craft. She really does. So I'm like, let's get this room cleaned up so you can get in here and craft. We've got a gift certificate for Lowe's so we can get the flooring. Just have to get in there, pull everything out, pull up the carpeting, and fix up the room, lay down the new flooring. It's going to be similar to what's in our room, which is basically peel and stick. So I gotta literally like go in there, clean everything up, rip up carpeting, clean up the section I just ripped up, make sure it's nice and clean and no debris whatsoever, and start laying down the flooring, and then go to the next stage of moving stuff around or out or whatever. What I'm hoping she'll do is, as she can sit in the kitchen and I'll bring stuff out to her and she can sort through it, and this is what we're going to get rid of, this is what I'm going to keep stuff, put it in the guest room for now, because I don't think we're going to have any guests for a while, and just hopefully bust it all out within 2 to 3 days, and then once we do the carpeting and start moving stuff back in there and putting things the way she wants it and organizing it the way she wants it, I can start taking the stuff from in here that belongs in there and just move it in there, and then start doing what I want in this room. That's Mom moving stuff around the kitchen. She's unloading the dishwasher. I told her I'd do it. Just give me a few minutes. But that's the way things are right now. It's just like, okay, it's the first day of the new year. Let's not start it on a lackadaisical, do nothing type day. I woke up this morning, going, okay, yeah, I slept in until 10:30. That's when Jerry Ann woke me up, worried about me sleeping too long and staying up too long. And I got 2 weeks to worry about that, to get back to my sleep pattern. And excuse me. I don't know if that's dinner talking back or lunch talking back to me, because lunch was sushi. But I woke up this morning like, I feel like a ball of energy. Let's do this, let's do that, let's get this ball moving. I literally wanted to just, all right, let's pick a room and start working on it. But of course it was like, well, since you're full of energy, this is what I want to do, and we need to do the budget. Okay, yes, that's a need. Then we can worry about starting on the craft room and looking at it and deciding how we're going to do it and strategizing and whatnot. But this is what happened. Woke up, came in here, did my thing. Totally forgot to do a vlog. My bad. Once I was waking up and did all my research, and I went, okay, I want to get started. Let's get started. Ann was like, well, aren't you hungry? Of course I'm hungry, but I came in here to talk to you about the plans for the day, and I wanted to tell you what I wanted to, what my idea was for the day, because I was afraid her idea would be like, really? No, you're worried about the bedroom, finalizing what you want done in the bedroom when I've got 2 weeks left, and I don't want to be leaving her craft room, let alone this room, until spring, let alone summer break, because I will literally start going stir crazy if I don't start doing stuff. So I have a plan in the back of my head, which I'm going to tell you about here in a second. But we talked about it and said, okay, we're going to have, what do we feel like for breakfast? How about, since it's a cold day, let's have a warm bowl of Jim's homemade oatmeal. Okay, sure, no problem. What flavoring do you want added to it? Do you want just the brown sugar, cinnamon, or do you want me to add some maple syrup or maybe some fruits? She goes, make it however you want it, and then I'll add what I want to it. I'm like, okay, sure. She loves the way I make it when as soon as the water is boiling enough, I put the oats in, and then I add the brown sugar and cinnamon on top of that, so they boil together and become amalgamated. And then when I brought in her portion of the oatmeal, she added bananas. I automatically add cream to the oatmeal before I serve it, a little bit of milk or heavy whipping cream if I have it, and then add whatever kind of fruits I wanted, unless it's, if it was like frozen fruits, I would add like maybe a handful of frozen berries or whatnot into it. I actually thought about one. I'm not a big peach type person. I don't like peaches and cream. Not a big um, um, strawberry and cream or blueberry and cream. Give me like apples or apple cinnamon. Um, there was a banana bread flavored oatmeal from Quaker that I'm like, if I could figure out how to recreate that. I've got bananas that I need to use before they start going bad. That would be like, perfect oatmeal to me. I'm actually thinking about starting to do some research on finding recipes for that kind of stuff. But I realized something this morning when I made the oatmeal. I was like, you know what? And according to the information I have about the Nordic lifestyle, the Nordic people would make a big kettle for their house, for their home, basically, a big kettle of just cooked oatmeal, our basic oatmeal. And they might add like local fruits or whatnot that grew in the area. And then come dinner time, whatever was left over in the oatmeal would be the base for the gruel or meal of the evening. They only did 2 meals per day, a morning and an evening time. And what they would do a lot of times would, whatever was left over from the oatmeal that it made in the morning, in the evening time, that was their base. And they would throw venison or chicken or fish along with various vegetables in the oatmeal and a little bit of extra water, cook it, serve it up for dinner, and come morning time, whatever was left in there either became part of the morning meal or was basically scraped out of the pot, out of the cast iron pot, the kettle basically, and given to the pigs. You got to feed the pigs every, you got to feed the pigs too, and just start all over with a fresh batch of whatever kind of grain they had left over to make, whether it was porridge or oatmeal or some sort of grain-based morning food with maybe some more fruit in there. And then for dinner time, it was whatever was left in there plus whatever they added on top to make a meal. And I'm like, that's the most interesting way of doing it, because oats and wheat and even barley were one of the main base products for making everything: bread, porridge, soup, breakfast, whatever. Just the Nordic people, added, kept the leftovers as warm as possible in the kettle, adding water every so often to it, maybe pre-cooking some product for dinner by throwing it in the kettle and letting it stew, basically making homemade stew. Fish stew, pork stew, chicken stew. Maybe if they got lucky, rabbit stew during the winter time, or venison stew. Sometimes they would take, and the venison would be cooked on a spit by itself. It's just interesting things I've read, but I was talking to Jerry about that, and we were like, Mom wouldn't like it, but who knows? I mean, I don't know. That, in fact, back then they didn't have like cinnamon and sugar. They had honey and pour some ale or whatnot into it to give it some extra flavoring, and turnips, carrots, whatever kind of produce they can grow in their gardens, or they had preserved somehow from the fall harvest. I don't know, but no, we sat down and we agreed to start working on her craft room. it was too cold for me to do anything outside because there's two pieces of furniture that I got to put together that needs to go in the craft room, but they have to come inside to get up to warm temperature, because if it's too cold, you can crack and break the wood. If it's too moist, you'd be trying to put a screw into its location and just strip the hole or the particle board or whatever it's made out of. Um, there's different reasons for not working with certain kinds of product like wood during cold, wet season. So, but yeah, because of sitting down and doing our budget took longer than either one of us thought. Plus, no blame on anybody. We had a late start because we slept in and those kind of things that just happen. Then there was the whole factor of by the time we got done with budget, it was time for dinner, and it's like, what are we gonna have for dinner? Sandwiches? I mean, for the first time ever, I've had my first Jimmy John sub sandwich today because we ordered it. It didn't cost us that much. Thank goodness. And I told Jerry, one of the things I told Jerry as we were doing the budget is, I'm hoping that our budget, once we do it, levels out to the point where we can start buying more product from the stores to have in the house for healthy meals instead of ordering out just because, it's a little late in the day. What are we gonna have for dinner? Let's go ahead and do fast food because it's fast food, and I don't have to worry about dirtying dishes or eating later than we don't like eating past 7 p.m. basically. Because then I only have an hour to let my food settle before I can go lay down and go to sleep. Because I know if I don't let my food settle for at least half an hour before laying down, it's a recipe of waking up with indigestion or indigestion, heartburn, getting that weird feeling like something's sitting right there at the end of your throat going, you can either swallow or cough it up. And, just feeling like ick the next day because your stomach is like, you ate the wrong foods, you ate too late, and you laid down before I was ready for you to lay down. Yeah. But I'm kind of happy with today. I think today, with just doing the budget and getting laundry started, if not almost finished, is a very productive day in my book. Would I like to have it more productive than that and have gotten more done? Yes. But under the circumstances, hey, just getting started and getting that momentum of, this is what I want to do, this is what we're going to do this week, let's do it. All the simple stuff is already done. Well, budgeting is not simple, but yeah, you get my picture. You get the drift. So, sorry but not sorry. This is actually a short video because I want to spend the rest of my evening, being as it's almost 7 o'clock anyhow, sitting down, enjoying company with my wife, enjoying a movie off of, I don't know what movie we're going to watch, but I know we watched 2 movies before the new year. One of them was the new Matrix. We were able to watch it on our cable, our Fire Stick TV. HBO Max had it on there. Just aired on HBO Max. So we were like, let's watch that. But the other movie that we watched, which I thought was very cute, it was a Disney animated film. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. What's that new one? It's supposed to be Hispanic in nature. Encanto, I do believe it's called. And it was a good movie. Anime movies don't always move me that much, but this particular this particular movie was a tearjerker for me, just because of the characters and storyline behind the characters, and just the whole movie was just kind of like, yeah, I can see the point. I can see the story. I can see myself, not in the movie. Um, how do you put it? The main character had a lot of issues or characteristics like me. Felt like the outcast, felt like I wasn't special or anything like that, but I did my best to pull my own weight, if not more, within my life. But anyhow, I think you should see, even as an adult, it would be a great movie for you. If you have young ones, it'd be a great family movie. But anyhow, Jerry's out there waiting for me to get done with this video so we can watch. I think she wants to watch Encanto again. We've watched Encanto 3 times. Today would be number 4. Since Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, 4 days. But anyhow, if you guys like this little video and you guys want to, I'm trying to think of the words. Encourage. There we go. Leave encouraging words or whatnot for what I've been trying to do for the last year. Go ahead and leave it in the little comment section. That would be great. I love getting encouragement. Sometimes it takes a while for me to sit there and accept it, because sometimes I'm just kind of like, it's not me, it's somebody else, blah, blah, blah. No, I need to stop that whole it's not me business, because I can easily go, all right, well, since Jerry doesn't want to work on the craft room, I'm going to work on something else. Granted, a lot of things I'd like to work on right now would mean Jerry probably getting PO'd because I threw away a bunch of her glass vases or things that are in this room that's supposed to be my room that just doesn't make a lick of sense. But it is the way it is right now, and I'm trying to start. I'm trying to encourage and push or get Jerry started on doing these things, because it's yes, okay, cancer is a really major pain in the ass and could cause changes in plans and whatnot, but it's just like, hey, look, since I know I'm already the one doing the grunt work and most of the hardcore work, all I need you to do is sit there and either look through stuff, just decide to get what to keep, what to get rid of, and tell me where you want me to put it temporarily until we can get carpet ripped up and flooring put down. And because I mean, one of the things I said to Jerry this morning, I wanted to end this, and I'm sorry. So I'll put a new ending. But one of the things I told Jerry is like, I can't wait no more. I need to get these projects done. I have 2 weeks to go. And I know it's primarily on me because I'm the worker, but I've been kind of waiting for you to finally decide that it's time to start working on these things instead of sitting around complaining because you don't have your freedom, you don't have your mobility, you don't have this, you don't have that. We know what you don't have. We also know what you have. And as long as I can park you outside of the craft room door where you can see inside to see what I'm doing and be out of the way so I can walk out of the room going, okay, do you want me to put this on the kitchen table so you can roll over and look at it? Or do you want me to just dump it someplace and then you can look at it before it goes back in? Your choice. And she finally said, yeah, I think I'm ready to start doing that room. I think what it is because she knows that once I go back to work in 2 weeks, is it 2 weeks from tomorrow, or was it? Well, 16 days from today, basically, on the 17th, I have to go back to work. I go back to my mainstream job. So it's kind of like one of those, what are you going to do when I'm at work? Nobody's here to take care of you. Nobody's going to be here to sit at the foot of the bed on the click-clack couch, just there to chat or do whatever. You have to, you have to start getting yourself ready to be, whether you're able to walk according when the doctors say you're able to, or if you're still in your role later while I'm at work. What are you gonna do? Lay in bed all day, asking mom to get you lunch? What? You're gonna end up, being miserable from being by yourself, or sitting around looking at the same four walls. Why don't we do something that can give you the ability to do something besides personal vlogs on both of her channels? Why don't we get the craft room started up so you can have your crafting channel back to crafting? And I was very thankful she finally said, yes, let's do that. So, anyhow, that will be the last of my video. You guys know what to do down here. Like, comment. If you liked what you're hearing or interested in what's going on, you can subscribe. So, until weird sounding vehicle. Until next time, I'll see you guys probably tomorrow. So I'll see you later. I have some plans for the future that I'll talk about later. But anyhow, I'll see you next time around. Sorry. Bye. Enjoy. Bye.